Hey, let's do a quick chess lesson. Do you sometimes hang a piece or miss an easy tactic? Well, then this lesson's designed for you. So, chess is often stereotyped as this game that's all about calculating a ton of lines, thinking about every possible move in the position, and drawing a lot of arrows. But that's not really what chess is about, and we can break chess down and make things simpler for ourselves. And the way we're going to do that in this video is we're going to observe certain things about our position before they become super relevant. And that's going to make it easier to find tactics and stop blundering. Let me show you what I mean. If we put the bishop on d5, we can notice some things. One thing is that this pawn is attacked and it's pinned to the king, meaning it can't move forward because our opponent would be putting his king in check. We can also observe that the bishop and the knight both attack this pawn. Although it's defended twice, it's a little bit weak. We can also notice that we attack this defended knight, but we also kind of put pressure on everything behind it. And that if the bishop or knight moves, we might be able to win a piece. So having these observations are really powerful because if, for example, our opponent plays knight e5, we might first, try to understand why the knight is on the square. Maybe they just wanted to centralize it. But we'll remember what we observed earlier, that this knight can't move. This bishop is now free, and now we have tempo on the opponent's rook as well. Similarly, if they played their bishop to a6, we could freak out. Did we just hang our rook? No, we didn't, because we noticed this weakness here on the c6 square. We can take the knight with tempo on their rook. So after all is said and done, we're going to be up material. So now let's see how we can use observations to not hang pieces as well. So if we look at this position, we should probably be thinking about developing pieces, either getting our minor pieces out, maybe getting the queen to a more active square, maybe creating a little luft for our king. But this can be daunting, and we might end up putting our bishop on this lovely diagonal. And that would be a big mistake because we're hanging our knight in this case. What would have been great is if a few moves ago I had observed how this knight is attacked by the queen and how my bishop is the only defender, and I can make a mental note to myself and know not to take my bishop off this diagonal. And the benefits are awesome. One, we're going to make less blunders. We're going to remember these things better if we make this mental note early. Two, it's going to make it easier to find moves. Before, we were considering putting our bishop on b2. We just eliminated that move as an option, and now we can find a better move. We can get our bishop out a different way, or bring our knight out, or push a pawn. But we eliminated a move or two. And then the last kind of hidden thing it can do is, if we remember how this queen is the only thing attacking this knight, and that's why this bishop has to stay on this diagonal, then if later our opponent moves the queen, we'll remember that now we can play the move we wanted to play earlier. We wanted to put our bishop on this nice diagonal, and only now is it possible. So let's play a few moves here, and I want you to try observing in this position. What have you observed, and how is that going to help you? You might notice how the rook attacks this pawn and how we defend it once, and a natural move might be to bring the knight out and defend it again. But how can we take what we've learned so far? Well, earlier when the bishop was on d5, but it's the same here, we noticed that the bishop and knight team up on this f7 pawn. So when the rook moved, it lost a defender, and now we can take with check. And when the king is forced to move, no matter where he moves, we're going to be up the exchange. So I hope you learned something. I hope this was interesting. Have a good day.